Welcome back to my channel. I am Raeanne and this is my home. I share home decor, design tips, and shop with me videos here on my channel. And today I have a good one for you, my living room makeover. This has been a year or more in the making, so I am so excited that it's done and I get to share this with you today. So let's start at the beginning. In the summer of 2020, we decided to build a home. Yes, it was probably like the craziest time, but it has all worked out amazing. So we signed the papers in July of 2020 and we moved into our home at the end of January of 2021. So we've been here about a year now. Finally, one room in the entire house is complete. So we have a long ways to go, which will be fun for future videos. One thing that I opted not to do was include their fireplace. It was in the corner. I knew from following other bloggers that they did not like a corner fireplace, but as soon as we signed those papers to build, I pretty much knew what I wanted to do. I absolutely loved this concrete type of fireplace. Spoiler alert, it is not concrete. What I did was a super easy paint job. We will talk about that in a minute. I won't take you through the entire build process of the fireplace because I do plan on doing a video in the future about that because I think it would be helpful. So we started with a completely blank slate in here. We started buying things and I would say April or May of this past year, and by the time we got to the framing, I think that was maybe July or August, and honestly we just finished this project up in I think November. So it was a long process to do the fireplace, but we have 4 kids and they come first, so this was a long process, but that's okay because it gave me time to really envision the space and how I wanted it to look in the end. So I had it in my mind to do this central fireplace, really nice and more modern piece. There's a lot of factors that go into when you build a big unit like this. I mean, a lot of measuring and dimensions and figuring out what will work and what won't work. But basically we had the TV, we knew what size we wanted with that. The frame TV was something that I pretty much had to have. Being a home decor enthusiast, I knew that I wanted that beautiful art to be displayed all day long. So that was a must-have for me. And the size of our TV determined the size of the fireplace. You really want your fireplace to be about the same length as your TV. So those two things were determined ahead of time when we started this process. So I had to build everything else around them. So the first step in the fireplace process was to build the framing that supported the TV and the actual fireplace insert. My husband and my father-in-law did that in about a day. I'm not saying it was easy because I didn't help with it, but they did that in a day with the two of them. So once the framing of the fireplace was done, we did hire out for the drywall. It's not something that we wanted to tackle on our own. That was $300. Which I think it was money well spent because we didn't have to do anything. Once the drywall was done, I could go in and paint it, and honestly I have seen so many options for this. I was going to look into a Roman clay finish, but there was a happy accident that happened, and what happened was I primed the whole fireplace white and then I went in with a very beautiful kind of a warmer gray. I mean, it really mimics the concrete look. It's called Dovetail Gray by Sherwin-Williams. I rolled it on with a roller and I was really loving that you could kind of see the white underneath. I think I did 2 really light coats of the gray color. There were some spots that went together and made it darker and spots that were lighter and you could kind of see the white through the back, but I think it mimics concrete really well. Once we had the TV and the fireplace laid out, we could figure out what bookcases we needed to purchase. I knew from other homes that we have lived in that I wanted to do an IKEA Billy bookcase hack. and we ended up going with 3 bookcases on each side, 2 bigger ones and 1 smaller one. What really makes these look like a true built-in bookcase was all the trim work that happened. So we put a piece of trim in between each bookcase on the top section so that you couldn't see where the 2 bookcases came together. We also did a framing above the bookcases and put some trim pieces up there. I also DIY'd some sconces, which I had to spray paint. Those are actually battery operated sconces. We decided not to hardwire just because an electrician would have cost a pretty penny. For the final piece, we put a trim piece on the bottom so you can't see that they are separate units. It really makes it look like a custom, beautiful built-in piece. Another thing that I think I might tackle in the future, and I started to do, but you can fill all of the holes in the bookcases with spackling or wood filler, and that way it makes them look even more custom. I will be honest, I started to do it and it's very time consuming. So when I get more time, maybe I'll finish it. The only downfall is you can't really move the shelves around, but I really do love the shelf placement. So one thing that I want to show you on these bookcases is that the normal bookcases themselves are the first 3 shelves. So the top shelf is actually an extension piece that you can buy, and you may not need that in your home. We have 9-foot ceilings down here, so with all of our measurements and how I knew that I wanted it to look in the end, I did want the extension piece. So the only thing with the extension piece is I cannot move that top shelf at all. So in all 3 pieces, that top shelf is permanent and I won't ever be able to move it. We probably could have done 1 more extension piece instead of doing the fancy trim on the top, but I think that trim and the sconces on top looks beautiful. So once all of the woodwork was done, I primed and painted that. I just used pure white because that's what our walls are. You could get an exact match to the IKEA cabinets, but in our space, it actually looks like an exact match because of our lighting. It turned out really nicely. So once I decided on the focal fireplace piece being like that concrete type look, and the bookcases planking it, I could kind of design the rest of the room. We already had these couches from Crate & Barrel. We got them maybe a year before we moved, so I knew that those were not gonna go anywhere. They were coming with us because these are like the best couches that we've ever had. One of them is the 83-inch Crate & Barrel Lounge Petite couch, and the other one is the 93-inch. And honestly, we probably could have done 2 93 inches in this space, or you know, even a sectional would have been good too, but these came with us from our other house and this is what we had. Did order this new rug off of Rugs USA. I got it a few months before we moved into this house because I knew that this was the vibe that I was going for. It's really pretty. It has taupe and gray and cream in it, but this thing is really soft. So it was well worth what I paid for it. So the couches, the rug, and the fireplace with the built-ins really set the tone for how the living room was going to be. One thing that I found online that I did splurge on is this chair that I have over in the corner. It is from Kathy Kuo Home. It was a little pricey, but once I saw it online, I just knew that it would look amazing in our living room. I just pictured my kids and me maybe reading on it or relaxing on it. And let's be honest, I don't do a lot of reading, so that really hasn't happened. But it does look really good in the corner. It fits our space perfectly. I will say that it is about $2,000, but I got it around Black Friday, so I think I saved like 20 or 25%. That's another thing with the Crate & Barrel couches. They do usually have a spring sale around March or April, and I think you can also get 20% off. I usually never buy things full price. I always look for either a sale or I Google when will there be a sale on this piece of furniture, and I also look for coupon codes. I do have these beautiful curtains from Target. They are super affordable. My mom came and hemmed them for me, which was really nice. And I knew that I needed to complete the space with a coffee table and some end tables. This coffee table is a beautiful black wood from Studio McGee at Target, and I got this leather poof also from Target. So adorable. I love it. Just brings a warm and coziness to the space. I had a little bit of extra room over by that big round chair, so I had an IKEA chair that was in my office. I brought it in for extra furniture when we had company over, and I kind of just like it there, so it's staying there for now. I love that the black legs are different than the rest of the furniture that sits more on the floor. It just brings some dimension and some interest to the space. Next to it, I have an end table that is also from Studio McGee, and the light on there is from Studio McGee as well. I have a variety of pillows on my couch. I love changing out my pillows for the seasons. A little trick I have for you is to keep the pillows and just change out the covers. Etsy is a really good place for pillow covers. IKEA usually has some cheaper ones, but it's also fun to go shopping at Target for new pillows as well. So the last thing that I did, and it's actually taken me a few weeks to do this process, is decorate these bookcases. I was so excited for this. I kind of didn't want it to start and end, so I was really taking my time envisioning how I wanted it to look, and I want to take you through some of the choices that I made and how I decided to style them. So as you can see, I really wanted to go for neutrals, but I think the pops of black, I have a little bit of gold, and even some of the vases, they add interest and warmth to the space. So I would say I probably had about half of the things on here, maybe even less. And then I had to go buy some new things, which was not a problem for me at all. You can see there's a lot of things from Target. There's a few things from At Home. There's also a few things from Hobby Lobby. I had some DIY projects in here that I did. This scribble art that you see above the round chair actually has a special meaning. The frames are from IKEA, but the inside of the pictures, I DIY'd that. I just got some really nice paper from Hobby Lobby, like the thicker cardstock type of paper. I took a dry brush with just black paint and I made these scribbles, but each of the picture frames has the first letter of each of my kids' names hidden in the picture. So this one has a T hidden in it. This one has a C hidden in it. There's also an L in this one and an A in this one. So they have special meaning, but they also bring a modern element to the space. There are a few things that I knew that I wanted to incorporate into the bookcase. Books are a great decor item because they can add height, they can add dimension. If you need to elevate other objects, they're nice to have. I really wanted to add greenery, so I tried to put that in different spaces throughout both sides of the bookcase. I knew I wanted some wood tones in there, and I do love candles, so I have some flameless LED candles. I also wanted a mixture of modern elements with more vintage looking pieces, like think Studio McGee, Hearth and Hand. I really love mixing those two styles. I think it brings a classic and timeless look. It's up to date with the modern, but also the vintage. It's just warm and cozy. As you can see, I kept the top shelf of the bookcases really simple with just one piece in each shelf. I feel like your eye usually goes and looks up there, and also with the sconces having the light on them, I just wanted to keep it really simple up there. I also kept the middle bookcase simple as well, alternating between a more modern piece and a more vintage piece, only having one thing in each of those cubbies because they are fairly small. Some of the shelves, you can see that they maybe only have a stack of books with a decorative object on it or two boxes. I did not want these bookcases to feel cluttered. There are 22 shelves. There's 11 shelves on each side to decorate. I knew that if I went too crazy with the decor, it would feel very cluttered and that would probably drive me crazy. me. So I knew that I wanted to make each shelf fairly simple, because when you look at the big picture of all the shelves together, then it doesn't look messy and cluttered. It looks very clean and beautiful and professional. Let's talk about some of these art prints. This one right here was from Hobby Lobby. That was in one of my videos. That was $7 and I absolutely love it. This other one is obviously a family photo. This was actually taken, I think, about 4 years ago now, so maybe I should update that soon. But I really liked keeping the black and white so that other decor pieces could stand out. This one here was from Hobby Lobby as well. That was only $15. And then this one down here, I want to tell you one of my secret art tricks. The frame was from Amazon. It is really beautiful in person. I love it. I'm so glad I got it. It's a beautiful gold color. The print inside is from Juniper Print Shop. They have so many beautiful pieces. Another one that I like is Collection Prints. They both have fantastic art pieces. You can do a digital download, and that way you have the picture forever. You could put it up on your frame TV if you have one, which is actually what I have there now. You could also take that digital download and have it printed out at Walgreens or another store. In this case, I just ordered the print by itself, which I had never done before. It's really good quality on thicker paper, which is nice. I really kept these bookcases neutral with calming colors, but I think the black pieces and the greenery and the art prints really help bring it to life. I will link to what I can in the description box below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I love doing these videos with you. Thank you for coming along with me today to see the living room makeover. I am so happy it's done. I hope that you get some ideas for your own living room and to make your home a place that you love, and I can't wait to see you back here soon.